Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is a weekly mail time episode. These are all the raw Lego bricks that have come into the studio just in this last week. We do tons and tons of custom building. We've got a lot of big projects on the way. I am currently just off to the side of the screen touching one of the biggest models that's ever been built in the studio, probably in the top 5. It is super cool. Anyways, we got some big stuff on the way, a bunch of little things on the way. I'm going to be showing you all the pieces that come in and what projects they are going towards. We actually end up completing, or at least getting all the pieces necessary to begin, I think, several projects in this one single episode. So I'm going to be building a lot, pretty much nonstop over the weekend. So anyways, let's jump into the Lightroom. All right, so the chaos begins. Lots and lots of big boxes this time around. Most of them are for one big project that is actually on pre-sale right now, 2 Impaired's Nebulon B. Instructions are on pre-sale until the model goes fully live after it's been tested. But before we actually jump in to all of these big boxes and little bags, first, if you want to smash the like button, feel free to do so. And let's get straight into this first package. It's actually the first one of several packages that arrives that's for the Nebulon B, one of the very small ones for sure. I usually like to write out the title of each project on a bit of tape, attach it to the biggest container that I think is necessary for that build, and it just makes it a lot easier in general for organizing tons and tons of projects that are all happening at the same time. There are some pre-sourced pieces from our studio behind me that are already in that box. It's usually nice, especially if you want to remove 1 or 2 orders from an auto buy search. And then this little bag that is coming up next is the first order to arrive for a bunch of micro vehicles that we're really excited to get started as well. In fact, a lot of micro projects are in the pipeline right now. It's odd. We usually do tons of minifig scale stuff, but lots of micro stuff happens to be happening right around this time. And then this next manila package that gets open is also for the same set of micro vehicles. I think there's like 4 or 5 in total, but one is like substantially larger than the other. You'll know what I'm talking about when it eventually comes out. And then I try to get all those envelopes in the trash is the first time through. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The first of the big boxes you can see actually has like a big rip in it. I'm glad nobody stuck their hand in there because it was pretty easy for me to just peel everything back and get into the meat of the bricks. But this is the first very large order. I think this is actually an international one. We end up going international for some of the very substantially large orders just because it's kind of worth it to pay the international shipping costs if you can get massive amounts of bricks at slightly more discounted prices. But this is the first one where we're just throwing tons and tons and tons of packages into the Nebulon B box, if we can make it in. All right, so this next package full of red bricks mostly requires a little bit of explanation. I don't know if you remember the last time I think it was a mail time episode where I smashed this thing and it exploded in a way bigger way than I thought. The like button. I've actually made these a little bit too strong, and I wanted to experiment with making something that's like really good, like a thumbs up that's really, really good at shattering. That is what those red pieces are for. So I'm just going to call that the red thumb, the thumbs up project. Whatever I wrote down there is what I'm calling it. And hopefully in the future when I say smash like, I can set up some scenes where like a big red thumb like this really explodes instead of, I think the last time this thing exploded really well is when I used this. It weighs a lot, but I think I just want a better effect, and so I'm going to be experimenting. This next package that arrives is actually the second and final one that not only finishes off the destructible thumb like I just pointed out, but I was also missing some pieces for the blue thumb. I made a bunch of different colored ones, and I just was missing the last arch pieces for the blue one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I rebuilt that on screen for you, and let's move on to the next one. This order is fairly large. It is for the Nebulon B. It's a bunch of little bags within a big bag. I'm going to keep it all in the big bag for now. And then these little pieces that arrive in the next small box are also for the Nebulon, and a lot of them are some of the more specialty pieces, those pieces that are required for making certain very specific, intricate areas of the shape looking correct. so that's why they came in a much smaller package this time around. And here's the last package arriving for the micro vehicles. I try to get that bag into the container from a long shot. Doesn't work every single time. And then if you remember the end of last week's Mail Time episode, a couple of big packages with a lot of red pieces arrived. This is the final one. Once again, another big micro project is ready to begin. So I'm going to be, once again, I'm going to be building all weekend for sure. And it's funny, a lot of these Lego pieces are packaged up pretty darn well. I feel like the most abuse they go through is once they get into the office. I just have to toss them. We're finishing off with the big black mysterious box. It's not such a mystery. That's once again just another massive set of Lego bricks, all meant for the Micro Nebulon B. That means there is one package left for that massive creation. It's coming from, I think, somewhere in Hungary, and it's, I think, more than 50% of all the pieces necessary for that one model. So that just gives you an idea of just how many bricks that project is actually going to end up being at the end of the day. All right, that's it for Mail Time. If you want to check out our web store, brickvault.toys, where we sell custom building instructions from amazing designers from all over the world, everything's linked in the description below. I'm going to have a dedicated video about a much more destructible, see, it doesn't break well, much more destructible version of a thumbs up. I could do it in other colors too, but this first time around I'm just experimenting in red, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoy our content, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.